Okay, everybody, how are we doing this morning? My name is Jay Kelly. I am with Digital Watchdog. We're going to go through our new online training platform that just was released. This was intended to be released at IC. With the current situations, we thought we'd bring this to everybody through some webinars. So DW has put together an online training portal. This training portal currently is covering the Spectrum software. However, we are adding additional content. We're working on a monthly basis to add additional content, which is going to branch off into other product lines, such as our C3 CMS, some new products we're releasing, as well as our cameras and recorders are all going to be included on this training portal. There we go. So the training portal is broken into modules. These modules allow you to train at your own pace. The modules are going to be broken down to fairly small in size, and each module is going to consist of a video with a narrator speaking over the video, as well as a short exam at the end of each module. The exam itself is really focused on just making sure you're paying attention to the content. There's no trick questions. We're not trying to stump you and trick you. At the end of the course, there is a final exam, which is a little bit more in depth. However, again, just questions if you were paying attention to the videos, you should have no problem answering. We do include downloadable content. You'll see when you sign up for a specific course under the learner section, My Files, there are files that are associated with the course. These files are actually the narration in text. So you can take this with you and you can always refer back to your workbook, which will cover everything that was discussed throughout the module in the workbook to reference to and take notes. We also include in those files a document that will explain our virtual labs. We've created virtual labs that allow you to practice the skills that you've just acquired by watching the modules in a virtual lab. What this means is you can download the, in this particular case, Spectrum client. Using that client, connect to one of our virtual servers. These servers are fully functional servers with the ability to do failover, Active Directory, cloud count, anything you wish to do, you can do to these machines. And then on a nightly basis, we reset these machines. So every 24 hours, these machines are going to be defaulted back to their default state. So then the next day, a new user can jump into those machines and use those as well. That information, again, is under the My Files section of this, the Learner tab on the top. And then, as I said, there is the final exam. The exam is going to just reference the skills that were reviewed through the modules. Once you've watched those videos, there's a short exam, and then at the very end of all the modules, there's a more in-depth, detailed exam. So kind of a view of what we're looking at here. When you log in, this is again using the DW Spectrum course that's currently on the system. You'll see that it's broken into 8 modules. Each module is going to vary in length. To be honest, the longest module on this particular course is Module 2. The rest are fairly equal in length. Module 2 is a little bit more in depth because we're discussing all of the features and functions of the dashboard. So when you log into Spectrum, it's going to be a very in-depth overview of all the different icons and features of the software. So some of the benefits of doing this online. I think the biggest benefit, obviously, is it doesn't take your technician away from their daily jobs. You don't need to set them into a classroom all day for 8 hours. This is self-paced. This is something that they can do on their own time. It's a very flexible environment. They can do it in the field, on their laptop. They can do it at their home. They can do it in the office. So it's very, very flexible. There is no, of course, travel costs. Your technician doesn't need to spend time flying to another state for training. This is, again, all done online. With that said, as content is updated and as content is released, the student will have access, will be notified of that. So they can continue their learning through this program at their own pace. It also is intended to improve their skill set. So the intent of this online portal is to become familiar not only with the product, but also features you probably weren't aware were there. The Spectrum training course itself is very detailed. Every feature and function of the software is going to be discussed. Today it is a fairly standard overview. We are developing an advanced class. The advanced class is going to be more of a level 2 technician, troubleshooting skills, advanced features, advanced events, things of that nature that you typically would set up as a standard user. And these will certainly help you improve your skills as well as career advancement, give you skill sets that aren't common with a typical technician. So cost, we've broken this down to a yearly subscription. What that means is you pay one-time $129 per year, and that will give you access to all content. As new content is added, you'll be notified of that, you'll have access to it. Today, our course is roughly $149 for an in-class 8-hour course. So we kind of dropped the price a little bit lower and decided to give it a year annual subscription to make this content something that your technicians can use going forward. Something to note, there is in the works a sales side to this as well. I believe strongly in educating sales so they can sell a product the way that it was intended to be designed and put together. So I'm putting together a design class that's going to focus on the sales side. They'll help everybody design a system, spec a system, understand the limitations to a system and how to really accurately build a complete security system using the DW product line. This course will be a free course, so as you sign up, this content will be available to your sales staff, as well as product overview. We are adding additional content for our products, giving you an overview of our cameras, our DVRs, or NVRs, so that you can quickly log in and get a complete overview of the features and functions of those products. Again, help educate you in selling those products. Access to the training is, as I said, 12 months. Certification, there is a certification on specific courses, such as Spectrum. Those certifications are yearly. What that means is in a year, any changes that have been made to the software over the year, there'll be a new exam, a new video updating of those changes, just to keep you current. I can't imagine those changes are going to, on average, be very elaborate. So or detailed. It should take you more than maybe an hour for that recertification. I have not put together the recertification classes, but I can't imagine they're going to take more than an hour at that time. And then, of course, I think the key note here to take away from this is it makes your technicians become certified. So DW technicians, your technicians who are certified will be able to contact our DW support using a special VIP access line. They will dial in using their credentials. Their credentials allow them to access the VIP dealer tech support, which will get them into our support queue much faster than those who are not certified. So there is a big advantage in that as well. So some of the overviews of the screenshots of the Spectrum training class, as you can see, there are videos that just kind of play through with a narrative discussing the features. The narrator goes over each feature within that course. When that course is completed, as I said, there's a short exam that will discuss it. We have both video and animations that kind of explain the features. In this particular case, we're talking about failover, and it's kind of given some animation of how the failover is working and those features that most aren't really aware of are again, as I said, discussed here in great detail. So what an exam looks like. As I said, the exams are not designed to trick you up. They're not designed to be difficult. They are more focused on just the content. We just want to make sure you're paying attention to the content. So there's true and false questions. They're all multiple select questions or true and false. Nothing in here that's going to be, I don't think, very, very difficult if you're paying attention to the video. As I said, the content or the questions are going to be directly related to the module, and most modules are going to be about 40 minutes in length, 30 to 40 minutes in length. Overall training for Spectrum itself is about an 8-hour course. It's about 7 hours, 40 minutes, depending on your breaks and how quickly you do the exams. But as I said, it's very straightforward, and there's no trick questions in there. They're just referring to the video or the module you had watched prior. So what else do you get with the subscription? We kind of discussed this, the sales training. The sales training is something that I believe strongly in, and I'm going to focus heavily on providing content so that we can educate the sales side. Technical setup, so courses that are going to be specifically designed for setting up new devices, setting up cameras, setting up DVRs, those common tasks that we find support gets a lot of calls on. We are going to create videos so that your technician, instead of spending time on the phone waiting for tech support, they can reference a video, and that video will walk them through that process. Again, trying to save our dealers time and educate our sales staff so they can go out there and sell the product. Networking courses. This is something that's not frequently done in the industry, but I do believe strongly that educating technicians on basic networking skills as well as some advanced networking skills is important. So we are going to be putting together a networking course, and this will be kind of focused on the design side as well as some troubleshooting. That's kind of broken into two sections. So design side, obviously how to design a system, what considerations you need to think of when designing, as well as some troubleshooting skills, advanced networking, how to troubleshoot, how to understand why cameras are dropping offline, if that's the case, or why they're not accessible from the outside of the network. Those are really, really common questions. C3 Client and Event Server. This is a product that was announced last year at IAC. Hasn't really been a lot of discussion of it, but we're now going to put together some training programs that will help educate those who are very familiar with it. And MyDW is a product that it's still not released, officially at least, but it is a new product, a cloud-based service that we are going to provide some training on as well. And then hardware, as I said, Blackjack, A1, camera configurations, and more are all going to be included videos. And this content will be changing as we go through the year. Something to note, there will be some live courses. This is all pre-recorded material, but we will still have our technical director, Paul, jump on, and he can do some live courses. And when those live courses occur, we will send out notifications to all students that are registered that they can optionally join if they choose, and have a time to engage with a live person, ask questions. It's going to be just as it would be in a classroom, but it's going to be all virtual through the PC. So this is a status overview. When you create an account, we track your activity, we track test scores, we track courses completed. Anything that you do on the system, time spent is tracked. And this is information that can be shared with supervisors or managers who want to keep tabs on those that are training to make sure that the investment is being used. So this will help you do that. And there's also a feature called badges. If you wish to compete with others in the site or the portal itself, or even your own company, you can create or you're encouraged to, or challenged, I should say, to get badges. And badges are basically a way of showing your test scores, the amount of content you've gone through. As more content added, obviously, you'll increase your badge level. And that's just a way to kind of, as they call it, gamification, to show how well you're doing in the training. So I'm going to go through real quickly on how to log into the system and how to access it. The system itself is relatively easy. It's dwuniversity.digital-watchdog.com. This allows you to log into the portal. So once we log into the portal, you're presented with the course catalog. The course catalog are courses that either have been assigned to you or that you've paid for. In this particular case, I've paid for these already. However, once you log in, you actually will only see the DW University overview. This currently is the only free video on there. As I mentioned, we are adding additional content that will be free, but right now this one is the free one on there. And this discusses how to use the system. It's going to discuss how to use the portal itself, the training portal, all the functions and features, how to add content, how to pay for content. So I strongly suggest using that video first just to become familiarized with the site. Once you have understood the site and how it works, you go to your course catalog, and the course catalog is going to break into categories specific courses. The DW Spectrum catalog, of course, is a subscription-based service. It is a little confusing. Unfortunately, I can't change the way this works. And what I mean by that is when you subscribe to one course, all other courses will become available automatically. So don't think that you're going to have to pay for this multiple times. You're going to pay for it one time, and that will give you access to all of the content. Once you select that course, you'll see that you can subscribe here, and it's going to ask you for credit card information. Put your credit card information in there, and then that course will become available. Once this course is available, you then can begin watching the video. As you see down here, you'll need to complete a video before you can access the next. So what I mean by that is if I go to Module 2, Module 2 is restricted to me, which means you'll need to complete Module 1 before you can go to Module 2 on the prerequisite down here. And that's just a way for us to make sure that your progress is managed and that you go through the modules in a sequential order. Each course needs to be complete before you can allow to move on to the next. As I said, there will be some additional content added to here. Some of the other features within the LMS itself, learning module system, is that we have the ability to do discussion. So maybe you have questions that you want to discuss with some of the instructors. Going here, you can certainly just click on the DW Spectrum, or you can create your own. You can just simply add a question here or post, kind of like a forum-based. The instructors will monitor these discussion boards, and they will respond with any questions you may have. And lastly, our calendar. Calendar is a way for you to keep track of upcoming events. It's currently empty at this time, but as we add upcoming live events with Paul, we'll be placing them here. And this will allow you to keep track and monitor those events as they come in and join those classes, those virtual classes. And then lastly, as I mentioned, under learners, my files is going to hold any files that are pertaining to the classes. So the virtual training lab are virtual servers that we have running on a VM environment. This is content that explains how you access this virtual environment, what IP addresses you use to connect to them, and the passwords. And as I said, these virtual servers are going to have 16 cameras on them. They're going to give you the ability to merge, Active Directory, failover, and testing. Pretty much anything you can think of in the field, you can do here. I think one of the only limitations is recording. You can record video, obviously. We just have limited that to how many you can record. And then once you've logged into there, I also suggest that you download the course catalog or the course manual of Spectrum, and this will be the same for all other courses that we post. And this is the narrative. So as the videos are playing, if you feel more comfortable following by the narrative itself, this is going to be that content, word for word. So whatever the narrative is speaking will be the same content here. So you can take this with you once you're complete, if you wish, and use this content to reference at a later time, maybe when you're not by your PC. And any other content that is related to those courses is going to be displayed here. Progress is where you're going to see your progress of your particular login, as well as the infographics, and this gives you a little breakdown of how others are doing compared to yourself, the level of what you are, the content you've completed, the badges you've acquired, and so on, and compared to others. So you can kind of gauge where you are with others. And then any messages, we will be sending out messages randomly, just updating of new content, new product, new training, and this will be sent here as well to your email. So you'll always be kept in the loop of new training and upcoming products. So currently the class is $129. We are offering a discount so we've just dropped the price down to $64.50. So it's 50% off for this month. So if you are interested in joining, I strongly suggest in joining this month. You can go to the website today and create an account. And then to get the discount, you simply just need to purchase a course, and the only course on there currently today is the Spectrum course. So purchase that and you'll get 50% off, and you'll have a membership for a year. When that membership renews, it will renew for $129 per year going forward. As I said, additional content will be added going forward as well. If you have any questions about sign up or any concerns, please feel free to email myself. It's Jay@digital-watchdog.com. or you can email any of our inside sales and they can assist you as well. The URL to the site again is dwuniversity.digital-watchdog.com. That'll bring you right into the site. And I think that's all I have. Let me see if I have any questions here that I can answer. Yes, so there's a question, is this one login, one subscription per employee? And that is correct, yes. And the reason that is this employee is going to log in using their credentials. Their credentials will be the credentials that are used when they're logging into the VIP tech support line. So we want to make sure that each employee has their own LMS credentials, which then translates to their own certificate of certification, which then also allows them access to the VIP technical support, which is actually, I think it's worth the $129 for just for that. That will give you the VIP access, the quick access into our support. When are you guys doing webinars on products? Our marketing department saying Friday the 17th, new products. So next Friday, it looks like we're gonna have another webinar as well. So we expect to add more content approximately every month. Additional content will be added, additional courses, additional training for not only specific product lines, but certifications. I'm looking to drop another module for sales in 30 days. I want to branch off into the sales side, training, designing on our product line for that, and including in that will be product videos themselves. So how to access and configure the features of a DVR, cameras, things of that nature. So those will be added very soon within the next 30 days. Yes, so the question is, once you've completed a module, can you go back and reference that module? Absolutely. Those modules will remain available to you going forward. You can always go back and review those videos, review that content. They always appear there, they'll appear completed, but you can always access them again. Are the online classes still active? Oh, I'm sorry, on-site, excuse me, on-site classes. On-site classes, I believe, are going to be something that's going to be scheduled specifically for dealers directly. I don't know how they're going forward with that. We'd have to reach out to Paul, technical director, who's not available to be on this call this morning. But we can certainly speak with him and see if he still has any intentions of adding those classes. At this point, I'm not aware of any. Yeah, obviously they're asking if the COVID-19 has postponed them. They've definitely been postponed because of that. I don't know what the schedule looks like going forward. I do know the intent is to put all content online, so it's available to students online. There is plans of doing virtual classrooms, which will allow you to also engage with Paul, our trainer, via a webinar, so to speak, session. Additional free classes other than Spectrum. So there will be additional free classes. I indicate the sales design class will be a free class, as well as product information will be all free. There has been no plans at this point to add other content that would be free, but as products come up and as the need comes up, we certainly will revisit that and add additional content. I do envision seeing both free and paid, and the paid is going to be focused more on the certification side, whereas the free is going to be product knowledge. Can you set up more than one technician at a time using their own credit card? So I need a way to administer that for them. Yes, well, basically, you'd have to sign each one up individually. The system doesn't allow for bulk add. It's possible I can generate a group code for that. I can look into that and see. I believe, though, the easiest way, and the reason I say this is the easiest way, is to manage those accounts. What that means is if you wish to deactivate an account, you can deactivate them on your own if you sign them up using your own credit card. This way you can manage that subscription. If I do it for you, it becomes a little bit more convoluted. I have to then go in and physically remove each person from the system or rebuild them from the system as well. So the best way is to use your credit card and to sign them in. Have them create an account, and then you can just use your credit card when you get to that portion of it. The link again to the login screen is dwuniversity.digital-watchdog.com. So it's just the normal digital-watchdog URL. but just put in front of that dwuniversity.digital-watchdog.com. Can you notify us again when we have it fixed using the discount? I will have that this afternoon. I can't notify and email everyone, obviously. We can have our inside sales send out another announcement, but I should have that resolved this afternoon. If I can't resolve it by this afternoon, I will just simply drop the subscription cost down to $64.50. That way, everyone can go ahead and just log in as normal. And then once the month is over, we'll raise the cost back up to $129. So either way, it will be resolved this afternoon. We do have a partnership with C2P that allows us to do some analytic integration into DW Spectrum, and we are also an open API. So assuming that other products, third-party analytics support open API, we can also tie that in relatively easy, actually. Just a URL back and forth allows them to communicate. Again, these courses free. Some of the courses are free, and the certification courses are going to be an annual subscription. You'll pay for those. Free courses will be more product overview as well as some training information on how to design and build systems. Any further questions regarding the training portal can go into Inside Sales, or you can also email myself, which is jay@digital-watchdog.com. I can answer any of those questions, or Inside Sales. Can you create groups with your own company? You know, groups are designed within the LMS specifically to allow separate content for those groups. So no, you cannot create your own groups. We create those groups based on some of our partners or inside training, for example. So no, the groups are not designed for public to create. We have a question here. VFP phone is linked to a phone number of the tech. Is there a backdoor number or code if you are calling from another? No, unfortunately, the IP, as you mentioned, is linked to, well, it's actually linked to the number as well as an email. You can call into the normal tech support operator, give them that information, and they can then forward you to the VFP tech, but you'll need to know that information as well. And it looks like that's all the questions, guys. I appreciate everyone's time. Please, again, if you have any questions, feel free to email myself, jay@digital-watchdog.com, or go to the new DW University portal, and that is dwuniversity.digital-watchdog.com. Again, I appreciate it. Everyone have a great week. Stay safe. Take care. Bye-bye.